All right, here. Today I'm going to give y'all my top 5 for this Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series race at the Kansas Motor Speedway. Last year in 2020, the NASCAR Cup Series went to Kansas twice, and we saw 2 exciting races. So this Sunday is going to be pretty good, in my opinion. And before I go any further, I want to add that I am going to do a Pick 5 contest for this Sunday's race. And if you're new to the channel and wondering how does a Pick 5 contest work, well, it is pretty simple. All you're going to have to do is go down below to the comment section and type in who you think will finish in the top 5. If you go 5 for 5, you get an autographed hero card or small card of your choice. And here's an example, Richard Petty. Just got to go 5 for 5 in no particular order. And if you go 4 for 5, you get an unsigned hero card. And I can say this without hesitating, I got every single driver right now that is participating in NASCAR. The Cup Series, Xfinity Series, Truck Series. I got them all. But yeah, just comment your top 5 and who knows, you may win a prize. But also go check out Righteous Redneck, JB Racing News Reviews, and Winning Bets. But let's get started.
Ryan Priest, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
Before I get into my top 5 for this Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series race at the Kansas Motor Speedway, I got to talk about Talladega. Talladega was this past Sunday, and it lived up to the hype. We saw tons of side-by-side racing, and I guess you could say exciting racing, if you will. We saw aggressive blocks being thrown. But unfortunately, at the end of Stage 1, as they entered turns 3 and 4, the 47 car and the 11 car made contact. Just a little bit of contact, but just enough to get him turned into the 22 car, Joey Logano, the 11 car, if you will. And the 11 car turned to 22. And nowadays, with the rules package NASCAR is running, it is very easy for a car to flip in this type of situation where Logano got turned and his rear end was facing the right direction and his nose is facing the wrong direction of the track, if you will. They go around and like making left turns. But Logano wasn't going to flip until one car happened to hit him in the nose. And when it hit him in the nose of the car, air just got underneath and it caused him to flip. I'm not no expert by any means, but NASCAR really can't do much about it. They're running so fast. All they can do is put more downforce on. But if they do that, they're just going to lose spectators. And that's not good. So they're in a hole right now, and they're trying to figure out how to get out. They can obviously increase the safety and technology that they're using right now. But there you go. There isn't much they can do about it. But we did see the 21 car Matt DiBenedetto winning Stage 1, which is much needed for him. He needs points. He started off the season really slow. And Stage 2 started. We saw a couple things go on. We saw a couple blocks. And coming to the white flag for Stage 2, we saw a semi-big one, if you will, and it happened to be a wreck that involved 3 out of the 4 Hendrick cars. The 24 car of William Byron, Alex Bowman, your defending race winner, and your defending champ, Chase Elliott. However, Byron and Elliott continued on, but Alex Bowman had significant damage, and it caused him to go to the garage. He did not get the minimum speed, and he was on the crash clock, obviously, so he took it to the garage. A heartbreaker there. But it also involved a favorite, if you will, Denny Hamlin, and it messed him up. His whole right side of the car was bent up, and there's no way he was going to contend for the win. Aerodynamically, that was impossible. Martin Truex Jr. was involved. He had a little bit of damage, but just enough to cause him to have a tire rub at the end of Stage 3, the final stage, if you will, and I'll get to that in a minute. But Bubba Wallace won Stage 2. Stage 3 started. It was kind of a snooze fest. They were just riding around, putting down laps until green flag pit stops happened. And we saw the 47 car get turned. And he hit the wall. And we go back and look at the replay. Quinn Hoff turned him. And Quinn Hoff had some contact previously. But yeah, so it set up a caution later on. And it's for Quinn Hoff, obviously. And they ran a couple more laps. And we saw the 19 car Martin Truex Jr., who was involved in that big wreck at the end of Stage 2, have a tire going down. And the carcass goes on to the track just a couple hundred feet before the start and finish line. So NASCAR had no other choice but to throw out the caution. Matt DiBenedetto was not hoping to see that caution, but everyone else was. DiBenedetto In my opinion, he was in a great position. I don't think no one could have really done anything with him. Maybe Keselowski, but no one really. And they pitted, and the DiBenedetto obviously stayed out, and he did not get a great start. Keselowski did, though, and he did not look back, and Brad Keselowski won the Talladega 500. Finishing runner-up to him was the 24 car of William Byron. He had an up-and-down day, like I said earlier. He was involved in a big wreck, and he bounced back for a runner-up finish, second place, if you will. Finishing third was your Daytona 500 winner, Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell blew his chance. A top 5 is a top 5, but he can have very well won this past Sunday at Talladega if he would have stayed in line with the 24 car of William Byron. They both pulled out at the same time. He was trying to block the 24, and all the 24 was trying to do was push him, because if the 24 pushed him, that would also help him have a chance of winning this race too, but they didn't stay together, and that's what helped the 2 car to go to victory lane. Finishing fourth was the 4 car of Kevin Harvick, and finishing fifth, this was an interesting one here at the race when it ended. They had the 16 car Kaz Grala, but NASCAR looked back and reviewed it. It was a photo finish between them two. Matt DiBenedetto got the 5th place finish, but my driver of the week is going to go to be no other than the 16 car driver, and that is Kaz Grala. He brought it home 6, and that is really good. And mark my words when I say this, Kaz Grala will be a force to reckon with in the future in the Cup Series. He's going to get his opportunity, and I fully 100% believe he will win in the coming years from now. But just mark my words, Kaz Grala is going to be good. But now let's get into my top 5. My top 5 for this Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series race at the Kansas Motor Speedway. It is going to be based off of facts and recent momentum, but here it is. Winning this Sunday's race at the Kansas Motor Speedway, it is going to be no other than Martin Truex Jr. Martin Truex Jr. picks up his 3rd checker flag in 2021 as his teammate Denny Hamlin finishes runner-up to him. That is going to be a terrible feeling for the young driver from Chesterfield, Virginia, if I'm saying that right. Denny Hamlin, he has yet to get the checker flag in 2021. Back in 2020, Denny Hamlin was off the charts, winning mostly every other race, either him or Kevin Harvick. But in 2021, it's been a different story, and he's yet to get the checker flag, or the victory lane, if you will. His day is coming, but I do not believe it is going to be at Kansas. Finishing 3rd place will be the 4 car Kevin Harvick. Like I said just a couple moments ago, he had a top 5 at Talladega. Talladega is a track where anybody can do good. And so you really can't base up the results off the car performance, actual performance, if you will. I know Stewart-Haas Racing has been struggling in 2021. Just look at Eric Almirola. He did really, really well last year. He was on a hot run at the end of May, all of June, and somewhat of July. A lot of consecutive top 10 finishes. But in 2021, luck hasn't been his way. His car hasn't been so fast, and neither has Kevin Harvick. Harvick won many races last year. I think it was 9. But they've been struggling all around as a group. Chase Briscoe coming up. Cole Custer won one last year. I would expect him to be up front, contending for a win week in and week out. They're in a hole. It's going to take some time to come back up. But I do believe Kevin Harvick will turn things around somewhat this Sunday at Kansas, bringing it home 3rd. That would be much needed. That would be awesome for that 4 car team. Not just them, the whole organization. They will love to see that happen at 1.5 miles. Finishing 4th will be the 22 car of Joey Logano. Joey Logano is coming off a Talladega race he's going to want to forget. He was one of the favorites heading into that race, and he flipped, unfortunately. He was all right. And there's a lot of talk around him because he went off on NASCAR with their safety and stuff like that. Or like let me get this straight. He said that NASCAR built a good car, a safe car, if you will. But they got to change the rules package. That's what I'm trying to say here. So there's a lot of talk around Logano. He's going to bring it home 4th, in my opinion. Finishing 5th is going to be the 24 car of William Byron. William Byron in 2021 is a different driver than he was the previous years. The previous years, he has had Chad Canales on top of the box. But at the end of 2020, Chad Knaus decided that he was going to step down and become another role at Hendrick Motorsports. So there was an open seat for that crew chief position for William Byron. And Rick Hendrick, the team owner, gave a call to his former crew chief, William Byron's former crew chief, if you will, Rudy Fugle from KBM. Rudy Fugle came over, and it makes me mad because William Byron is doing so good. A lot of people is wanting to give him credit for maturing, which he did, don't get me wrong. But if he did not have Rudy Fugle, he would have not won Homestead just a little over a month ago. And he wouldn't be inside the top 10 in the points in general. Rudy Fugle deserves a lot more credit than he's getting. He's getting nothing, really. And it makes me mad. But Rudy Fugle, if you're out there, you're doing one heck of a job. But there you go. There's my top 5. Winning, Truex Jr. Second place, Denny Hamlin. Third place, Kevin Harvick. Fourth place, Joey Logano, who has a lot of talk around him. And finishing 5th was the Hendrick Motorsports driver, William Byron. But my dark horse for this Sunday at Kansas, it is going to be the 10-car Aric Almirola. Like I was saying just a couple moments ago, Stewart-Haas Racing has been struggling, but I do believe that they will get things turned around this Sunday at Kansas. Kevin Harvick bringing it home inside the top 5, and Aric Almirola, as my dark horse, will finish inside the top 10. 2 SHR cars in the top 10 and a mile and a half in 2021. That's something crazy. That's a crazy sight, but hopefully that can happen. They're in a terrible position right now. They're in a big hole. They're going to get out of it, but it's going to take some time. But everybody, though, remember to please like and subscribe, and go check out JB Racing News Reviews, Righteous Redneck, and Winning Bets. They all have great YouTube channels, so go check them out. Peace.